Hey, are you ready to dive into Mazagon Dock Shipbuilder's latest financial results? I've got the report right here, and it looks like they've had a pretty interesting quarter.
Absolutely. Mazagon Dock, right? They're the ones who build warships and submarines, basically playing a huge role in India's defense sector. I've heard they also do some commercial shipbuilding and engineering.
Exactly. They are primarily involved in defense equipment production. Oh, and they're a government of India undertaking, which is a pretty big deal. Did you know they've actually been around since 1934?
Wow, that's some serious history. So, what's the headline from this report? Let's get straight to the numbers.
Okay, so for the quarter ended December 31st, 2024, their revenue from operations was about 3 lakh 14,362 lakhs rupees. That's compared to 2 lakh 36,247 lakhs rupees for the same quarter last year.
That's a significant jump in revenue, isn't it? Almost a 80,000 lakh rupees increase. What about their profit?
Their profit before tax and exceptional items for the quarter was 1 lakh 6,257 lakhs rupees compared to 78,623 lakhs rupees last year. Things are definitely looking up.
Definitely a positive trend. Any one time events or exceptional items we should be aware of that might have skewed these figures?
Nope, the report specifically states there were no exceptional items this quarter. Everything seems pretty straightforward, which is kind of nice.
Good to know. And what about the 9-month period? How does that look compared to last year?
For the 9 months ended December 31st, 2024, their revenue from operations was 8 lakh 25,747 lakhs rupees, up from 6 lakh 36,293 lakhs rupees in the same period last year. Profit before tax was 2 lakh 69,185 lakhs rupees compared to 1 lakh 57,619 lakhs rupees.
That's a solid increase across the board, really. Paints a picture of growth. Is there any mention of dividends in the report? Because that's what a lot of investors are keen on, right?
Oh, Jess. The board recommended an interim dividend of 23.19 rupees per equity share, and they already paid it out in November 2024. It doesn't specify the record date or payment date, though.
Dividends always get people excited, especially when they've already been paid. By the way, here's a friendly reminder to our listeners that we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions. But speaking of shares, did anything happen with their equity structure?
Actually, yes. The members approved a subdivision of equity shares. They split the shares from a face value of 10 rupees to 5 rupees per share. The record date for the split was December 27th, 2024.
Oh, a stock split. That makes the shares more accessible to retail investors, right? It's like cutting a pizza into smaller slices so more people can grab one.
Exactly. More slices for everyone. And the report mentions that the earnings per share calculation reflects this change. The basic and diluted earnings per share for the quarter are 19.04 rupees.
Makes sense. So, how does their balance sheet look? Any potential red flags in terms of solvency or liquidity?
Well, the report doesn't give us a detailed balance sheet, but it doesn't highlight any immediate concerns. It would require a deeper dive to really assess those risks, though.
Right, gotta dig into the details. What about cash flow? Are they generating enough to cover their operations and, those dividends we just talked about?
The report doesn't provide a cash flow statement, so it's tough to say definitively. But with the increased revenue and profit, it seems like they're in a decent position to handle their finances.
Okay, so we're piecing things together here. Now, Mazagon Dock, aren't they primarily focused on defense? Does the report break down performance by different segments?
Good question, but no. The report mentions that because they're mainly in defense equipment production, they're exempt from segment reporting, according to a notification from February 2018.
That simplifies things, at least for this report. So, if we were to calculate some key financial ratios, what would stand out?
Without a full balance sheet and cash flow statement, it's tough to calculate all the ratios. However, the increase in revenue and profit margins suggests improved profitability.
Got it. Based on these trends, what's your overall outlook for Mazagon Dock? Are they sailing smoothly or are there any storms on the horizon?
Based on these results, the outlook seems positive. They're growing, they're profitable, and they're paying dividends. But as always, keep an eye on market conditions and any potential regulatory changes.
Yeah, always good to stay vigilant. Speaking of future prospects, do you think they'll maintain or increase those dividends? And what could impact those decisions?
Well, continued profitability and strong cash flow would definitely support future dividends. Keep an eye on their upcoming record and payment dates if they announce any, as these are crucial for shareholder returns.
Makes sense. And what about management's guidance? Did they provide any commentary on strategic initiatives or macroeconomic factors?
The report doesn't include specific management commentary. It would be great to hear their thoughts on the future, especially regarding any strategic initiatives or capital allocation plans.
Definitely. That kind of insight can be super valuable. Well, to wrap things up, what are the key takeaways from this earnings report?
Okay, so Mazagon Dock had a strong quarter and 9-month period with significant revenue and profit growth. They paid an interim dividend of 23.19 rupees per share in November 2024, and they had a stock split with a record date of December 27, 2024.
Right. And all of this points to a pretty healthy financial outlook for the company, even without all the details. Investors should keep an eye on those dividend announcements and any strategic updates from management.
Yes, exactly. Mazagon Dock seems to be on a steady course.
Well said. It's been great breaking down these results.